What's up, Collider TV Talk fans? Josh McCougar here with the Roxy Stryer. What's up, Rox?
What? I don't know. I don't know.
You know, you sound like you kind of sound like that, like the new friend you take to a sporting event. Everybody's like, woo, like they're like, yeah, whoa, and you're like, woo, woo, woo.
Everybody's screaming like, Edelman, you go, and they're like, yay, player,
Yeah,
woo, woo, run.
is that 11? I like 11. He seems like a nice guy.
11's cute.
Oh, 11. You got a big weekend this weekend with your Patriots.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Noivus.
Noivus?
I'm Noivus.
But this is not a sports show, unfortunately, because we could talk sports for a while. But
well, sports are on TV.
That's true.
Maybe we'll do a what if.
Sports weren't on TV? No, what if?
Then they would just be live events.
What would a scripted sports show look like? That can be what if we wrote a scripted sports show? What would it look like? That could be a fun one to do.
Or we could actually just write it and then put it out.
Actually do it.
Creating work,
paper.
actually? Man.
But that kind of goes into what our what if today is, which is what if we wrote True Detective Season 4 or a season of True Detective?
Just any season.
Could it be Season 5, 6, whatever?
You think it's going to run that long?
I think it depends on how well this one is received, but it seems like this one's being received much better than 2 so far.
Yeah, although I was just reading an article, I think maybe it was Vulture, saying, why are people still invested in this? And it was a clickbaity title, and I didn't read the article. But
you could imagine the filler?
Yeah.
Okay.
One way or another.
Got it. Okay.
But I think it is being received better. I mean, I personally am into it so far.
Sure.
Just a little slow.
But is that, I tweeted out on Sunday, I said I could watch a show about Mahershala Ali watching grass grow, and I would still watch all 8 episodes because he's just one of those dynamic actors that I want to watch on screen.
100%. I don't know if it's a testament to anything other than him that I'm enjoying this show.
I mean, it's not Steven Dorff.
No.
I mean, I love Scoot McNairy as the dad, but like going down the line, I don't know how big of a role Scoot McNairy's going to play in it.
I really have no idea how big a role any other characters are going to play in it. It's been
Meryl Streep's daughter is the mom.
Yeah, she's good. Though.
Yeah, she is good.
And everything I've seen her in, she's good.
She was the FBI in Mr. Robot, season 2, right? Was she in season Mr. Robot? Robot. It's a robot.
It sounds like something that you do for hair loss.
I've been taking a lot of Robot.
Yeah. Oh, I'm on that Robot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I get it.
Is your hair getting thicker? Yeah, I've been taking Robot. So.
Is it a pill? It's shampoo? We don't know.
It's like a foaming spray.
I love a good foaming spray. Use it every morning.
Comes in one of those creepy clear bottles that like custodians use that you have it's blue liquid, but you're not sure if it's just blue water or Windex. We're not really sure.
They're all lying to us for sure. Whatever, 100%. No matter what they say.
Yeah.
Lies.
And you can never find that kind of bottle anywhere at a store.
Wow.
Did you ever notice
Where does that live?
I don't know. I think you have to order it from an industrial place. And the only company that makes that bottle is one company, probably located in Elkhart, Indiana. Huh. They started making plastic spray bottles way back when, and that was that.
Wild.
I don't know. And this has really nothing to do with the show, and we apologize.
It could.
But Hypothetical Questions goes on its own course. And hashtag at Collider Hypotheticals. Josh McCougar, Roxy Stryer, right here, right now. We are going to create a season of True Detective.
And I want everybody to know that in Josh and my pre-pro meeting, we in no way, shape, or form discussed any of this. We just discussed what the topic was going to be. But wherever this goes, we don't know who the characters are. We don't know what the plot is. We don't know who the actors are.
All right, I'm going to hold up what notes I have written so far for the viewers at home
to spoil it for them.
To show them what I have. Just says True Detective on it.
For you iTunes people. I believe I saw a hashtag. Did I? Or no? Didn't say hashtag True Detective?
It just said True Detective.
Should put a hashtag. Shit. You got to add that. Yeah, there we go. Hashtag. Now you've got some notes. Now we're cooking.
And you're in the frame too. There you go. All right. So
I always forget that I'm always in the frame and you are too. We're always on. Yeah. Because sometimes I have to make my thinking face. Because especially for a question like this, how we're going to write.
Has your brain been moving? Has it been moving?
Oh, I've been trying to think about it ever since you started writing down the hashtag. I was like, okay. And if you carry the one in
you just went SQFR. What is it called? ASMR?
ASMR, yeah.
You just did go ASMR.
Yeah, creepy.
It is
creepy.
Yeah.
I creep myself out.
We still haven't gotten into our main subject, but
we're thinking about it. We're stalling.
We're stalling because we're freaking out a little bit. I was talking to a buddy about ASMR. And he's like, dude, we've created like thousands of hours of quality comedy content, and we could start doing ASMR in 6 months, maybe be the most famous ASMRs in the world, and that would be what we were known for. And Jesus.
And that makes me feel sick.
Right.
Same with unboxing.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's great. But also,
it's not as difficult as trying to create 2 hours of content every single day.
Some people would say it's more. Yeah. I'm not one of those people.
That's not me.
But I do know there are people.
All right.
So we got to talk about what do we have to stick to? How many episodes do we get to choose, or do we go by 8, or do we get
Here's what I think our outline is.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we pick our 2 detectives because there's, it's not 2 detective, it's True Detective, but really there's usually 2 detectives, 1 and a partner.
I was going to make the joke and I didn't get there fast enough. I'm glad you covered it.
What, 2 Detective? Yeah. I always wanted to do a blog called The Brew Detective, and I just went to local breweries and I was like, this one had this kind of taste, but I just never had the.
That would be amazing.
Right? Okay.
We should do one of these episodes soon. Yes, definitely. But also we should do one of these episodes soon where we have to rhyme every sentence back and forth. Huh. I only thought of that because you said 2 and true. And that wasn't even the point of that. But if I said
Blue, Drew,
in True Detective season 4, we're gonna have to
put it on the floor.
Great. So now it's on the floor.
Yeah.
So do we have to stick to? We have to have two
lead
truths,
detectives,
2 leads.
Okay.
Because obviously we're going with the season 1, season 3 format, not that season 2.
No. We're going
situational.
We're sticking with the successful format of True Detective. We're not going to reinvent the wheel here.
Not looking to reinvent anything.
We're putting together an interview situation that has a lot of undertones as to foreshadow what has happened in the season and what has happened in the investigation and the weirdness and what can happen and how the solving or unsolving of this crime would be.
Also, as green writers, Josh and I are not going into this room and trying to pitch something insane.
No.
We just want something that's going to show up on TV.
No.
So we just got to do the job.
Yeah, we're not making Blue Detective a story about the Blue Man Group as detectives.
But we are doing other things, electives.
We were close there. I feel like
I should have gone with electives.
Yeah.
Something that ends with electives. Detective didn't sound like anything rhymed with it at first. Selective. Injective?
I'll give you injective.
Progressive?
Who not
needs
terrible.
Insurance?
Who needs it? Where's Flo when you need her?
Not here, Flo. Not here.
Okay,
do we want to try to pick our 2 cops?
Yeah, I think we cast.
Okay.
2. So we've got 2 leads. We have one town, right? Like we should think of where in the country where this would be. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think
a storyline, like
a story.
What is the main subject matter?
What's the murder?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or crime.
Storyline, crime. Right, because both I feel like all 3 seasons of True Detective have basically dealt with some sort of weird killing / sex crime.
I wonder if we're dealing with a murder or a missing person, or we don't necessarily have to end in murder.
It's true. It doesn't have to be a murder.
Which we don't even know if this season does, but our season doesn't have to.
I always love the stories of did you watch Dirty John on Bravo?
Not yet. I Instagram story asking the people whether I should watch Escape at Dannemora or Dirty John first, and they went for Escape. So now I'm on episode 5 of Escape.
It's great.
Which, again, relevant to this.
Yeah. It's a great show, and so is Dirty John. But Dirty John's based on a true story.
Oh,
yeah. Well, Amanda's obsessed with Dirty John because we listen to the podcast.
I hear the podcast is better.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's more in depth.
Okay.
But Dirty John, like these real life con men. I've always been very intrigued by people that are able to just pull off these long cons, all while getting people to believe in them and take their money. Like I just watched that fire fraud documentary on Hulu.
Oh my! And they're dropping one on Netflix,
back to back.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet though.
And how they and how this guy got all this money to do this stupid stuff, and people followed him.
And I'm one of the people.
Did you go to fire?
No, not for that specific situation, but I just am one of those people.
What, you would buy into that?
I think I would just buy into, I believe in people. And so when people tell me they're doing something, I have to be a little more skeptical these days because I'm kind of like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm going. I support your dreams.
Yeah.
Rock on. Let me give you my
money.
money.
And then they take $100,000 from you and you never see it again.
Yeah, which I physically would not be able to do, but if I could, probably I would have been one of those people.
Don't do it, Roxy. Don't do it.
Got to run it all by you.
Okay, so we've got 2 leads. You don't have to run anything by me.
No,
but make sure you ask me
for
before.
my own good. Yeah.
If you're going to invest $100,000 in something, ask me first. Let me do a little research in it.
A little research.
Okay, so we got 2 leads, 1 town, the crime, and then do we want to talk about like how it's solved, the way they solve it, undercover? Is it, that kind of thing, or do we just want to go like this and then we can find our way through it?
I think we're gonna have to find our way through it.
Okay.
Are we sticking with 8 episodes? We have an 8-episode arc.
Should we go British TV and go 6? Or do you just want to get the story out and not even worry about episodes?
Yeah, we'll get the story.
How many? As long as it's not 13 Netflix-style superhero, we're fine.
No, we got to go 8 or under.
Yeah, okay. All right, so let's talk casting, because I think if we cast our 2 leads, we can kind of get into what we think of and how they go.
Okay. I'm thinking of a white Christmas. That's dreaming. They're not even thinking.
Mm-mm.
Well, there's so many directions. What age range? Are we trying to do older cop, younger cop? Are we trying to do...
again, let's not try and go outside this True Detective model of guys or girls in their mid 30s to late 40s.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Do you want to do big celebrity like they do?
Yeah.
I think so too. Because that's a huge draw of the show.
For sure.
Seeing what Jessica Chastain's going to do with...
Oh, man, that's a really good
XYZ or...
She's so good in Molly's Game.
She is. I think she could do a really good job.
I'm writing her down on the short list.
Yeah, I think she could do a good job. Do we want to try to go for like a Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
Wow, great call. JGL.
He would be really good.
What about somebody like a Gosling?
Yeah, he's amazing in every single thing he does.
What about like somebody maybe like an Anthony Mackie or a Joelle Monet?
Yes and yes. Yes and yes.
I like those. I really... Joelle Monet can do no wrong.
You know who's been winning a ton of stuff recently?
Who's that?
She might be slightly older, but Regina King. She's been like...
Regina King, I saw that show. Did you watch 7 Seconds?
No, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it's okay.
I don't think we've seen her do anything like this.
No.
But she's been sweeping.
Sometimes she gets a little too emotional for me, and I don't know if she can be as... the cops in here are just like...
Get it done.
Don't mess with me. I'm the law. But they're not like over emotional.
Maybe we do some Southern people.
Well, I mean, anybody can do the language. Anybody can do it, right?
Some better than others.
See, because I want to do...
McConaughey's whole like...
My brain's not working on account of...
Who's like the chick version of McConaughey?
Kate Hudson? I went to How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
I know, I love that movie. I just wonder how she would do... Maybe Charlize Theron?
Oh.
I mean, I don't think she's the female version of him, but she does do a good... Oh, you know who would be amazing?
Edward Norton.
I mean, yes. He would be so good. I was going to say Emily Blunt.
I've never seen her do an American accent.
Did you see Edge of Tomorrow?
Did she have an American accent in that?
Yes.
You sure about that?
Do you think it was British?
I think she's British in that movie, but maybe I'm wrong.
Does she have to be American?
I watched that movie once and I wasn't like obsessed with it, so I just kind of... That's one of those ones. If I see it on TV, I'm like, meh, I get it. What about this? What about an aging detective?
Wait, now I'm all backwards. That's Tom Cruise's partner in it, right?
Yeah.
She's got an American accent. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay. Because here I thought they were in England. And he's going over to help England. Like, isn't it? Isn't that the situation?
Well, it's such a messed up world. Look it up.
I don't think I can look up. Does Emily
Blunt? Hey Siri. Oh, she doesn't respond like Alexa does. Siri. No, it's not how it works.
Not how it works.
All right, I'll keep thinking. I mean, I think we can't have somebody as like Emma Stoney as Emma Stone. We need somebody with a little more grit.
Little gravitas.
What about any of our big TV stars?
Rachel Brosnahan. Too nice. But she did play that down and out hooker in House of Cards. She was very gritty in House of Cards.
Wow, I don't remember her in House of Cards. It was a later season. I did stop watching, so I don't know. And then what? I'm trying, like, in my mind right now, I'm like, okay, who could be Batman? And those are the people that I'm pulling from, which is why I said Joseph Gordon-Levitt. But what do you think about maybe John Hamm?
Oh, John Hamm would be an awesome detective.
He'd be really good.
Yeah. What about like a classically comedic actress put in that detective role? Say like a Tina Fey or an Amy Poehler. No?
Well, do you
Maya
remember
Rudolph?
what was the Tina Fey movie that I did not love that everybody else really liked about the family and the divorce and the death and everybody came back for? I wish the people were here. I wish
You Were Here.
No, because that was Zach Braff. What's the Tina Fey? It's the whole family movie.
Date Night?
No, not funny. Sad. She was playing a serious role, and I didn't think that she.
Oh, it was the one with Ezra. It was the one with
the whole all
they're
of her
sitting
siblings.
shivas, right?
Yeah, sitting shiva. Yeah. They're sitting shiva.
Sorry, that was wrong. I apologize.
No, it's good. I think whatever that was, I was not super duper.
Okay.
Not impressed. I just wasn't believing
her as the dramatic.
Yeah.
She was good as like the sort of straight person in Baby Mama, but also she just kind of played Liz Lemon a little bit in that.
So I think we want to do one.
We're real stuck on
going one guy, one girl. I think is cool because they haven't really done that.
Sure.
And I don't know. I do like though when movies do the older, younger, like younger one trying to learn the ropes from the older one. Do we not think we could do a situation like that?
Like
if we did like
Break?
a Morgan Freeman
or like a Keanu Reeves and Joelle Monet.
Yes, something like that.
Okay.
Janelle Monáe might be the key.
She's
really cool.
She might be the most attractive person I've ever seen in my life.
That's true.
Which is hard to believe her as like a detective in like a gritty small town, but maybe she had to come back and like take care of her parents. Maybe she was like a pageant queen and she had dreams, but she had to come back, or she couldn't make it in college, or something happened and she got sent to the military. Then she got a little PTSD, came back and became a cop, like Iraq War kind of a situation, or like Vietnam. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like, because we have a Vietnam War here with Mahershala Ali and Stephen Dorff. They were both in Vietnam and they came back to be cops. So maybe it was
yeah. Well, what year do we want this to take place in?
Well, we haven't. Well, so like I feel like the time jump is the True Detective thing, right?
Right.
It's reinvestigating a case that went cold.
You can time jump from the 70s to the 90s. You don't have to have it be current day.
Right.
Like their current could be the 90s. Or this could take place in the future. It's a whole different show.
That's a whole different show. So what if it was like early 2000s?
Julia Roberts.
So maybe like they were
Sandra Bullock.
9/11. Maybe Joelle Monet was in 9/11 and it really shook her. And so she came back and she was always smart and very interested in crime, and she becomes like an expert with the FBI in like criminal pathology.
I kind of like that.
Okay.
But what are we trying to solve then? Is it 9/11 related?
It could be like...
What if there was a missing person that they never found?
Okay.
And...
They think they were linked to 9/11?
No. They think that they didn't know that they passed on 9/11, but they never found proof that that person was in the building, and like all these years later.
And then somebody sees something and that like pops up, and so they... Well,
because in this spoiler for this season of True Detective, but with the convenience store, the fingerprint,
right.
Like a situation like that or video camera footage or whatever,
right?
And the person's alive,
right?
But do we really want to go into...
Maybe it was a criminal that
events?
Supposedly was in the tower, and
maybe it wasn't actually a criminal somebody set up. Are you saying?
No. It was like a legitimate criminal that said they were in the tower and then died, but then was able to disappear and get away.
A criminal not related to that event.
Yes,
just a criminal.
Yes,
interesting. And then they like change their identity and stuff.
Yes. And they think they see them, and so they call in Joelle Monet as this criminal pathology expert and a local FBI agent. So maybe it's not local cops, it's like a local FBI agent, special agent, and maybe we have like an older guy. So
she wasn't on the case at the time.
No.
But the person who we're with has to have been.
So it's like maybe
Bruce Willis.
So maybe we get back to a lot of like things that happened on 9/11 or right around 9/11 that sent her kind of spiraling, Joelle Monet, and then this is 2011, 2012, and something pops up on some kind of situation, and they're like, "That's the guy we've been looking for. We got to find this guy. Who knows where this guy is?"
And then maybe we M. Night the situation, where we find out that he had something to do with
9/11.
No, her life.
Oh.
Like, because you said he's a criminal, he set up her dad, which is why he went to prison, or something.
Right. I like that. Little backstory for her.
Yeah, we need a little backstory.
Okay, so we're
That's
sold
why
on.
she's so invested.
Yeah.
She wasn't even around them. Why are you so invested?
And maybe he stole all this money from her dad. And her dad committed suicide, like
something like that. That's dark. True Detective.
Weeks before 9/11, because he lost all his family's money. And they were and they found this guy, and he was going to go to trial, but then he was like in his lawyer's office and whatever, and they thought that he died in 9/11, but he actually just escaped.
And she knew the whole time. She just felt that he was not gone.
Yes.
This is so good.
Does Idris Elba play her dad? Or do we have like a bit part?
Because of the flashbacks?
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Or is that a waste of an Idris Elba part?
Well, it depends on how much we're seeing him. And also, Idris is a pretty busy guy, as he just texted me. He's very, very busy. So it'd be nice if we could get his shooting in and out. You know, it's not like he can really commit to doing the whole show. Or maybe he could, but I don't think it's a waste if we use him.
Is it Joelle Monet or Janelle Monet?
Janelle Monet.
Janelle. I've been calling her Joelle.
You have?
Yes.
No, you said Janelle Monet.
Did I say Janelle? It's Janelle Monet, right?
Now that you're saying.
God dang it.
Now that you're saying it over and over again. It's Janelle Monet.
You're sure? It's got to be Janelle Monet, right?
Yeah, we just know somebody named
Joelle, and I've been saying it wrong.
We know what
Janelle.
we know Joelle.
Yes, Janelle Monet.
You've been saying Janelle.
I have been. You sure? Okay. Janelle Monet. My bad.
Well, if you haven't, you've been swallowing like Joelle.
I've been doing the Pittsburgh thing, swallowing my L's.
I feel like I would have corrected you if I heard you saying Joelle.
Okay, so it's Janelle.
But maybe
Monet.
I just didn't.
Let it slide.
I know that it's Janelle.
Okay, Janelle Monet is that's our lead woman,
as opposed to Joelle Monique,
right? Which is not our lead woman. So Janelle Monet, and I wrote and then who is our aging grizzled detective? What about like Bill Murray?
Is he like Bill Murray as Bill Murray? Not as Bill Murray, but do we get a little comedy in there? Because we haven't quite had that on a True Detective yet.
I mean, and Bill Murray always plays like sort of a serious, funny role. Do you know what I mean?
He is, not to be ageist, but slightly old.
He would have retired.
Role, probably. Mm-hmm. I mean, I just don't know if we send him out into the field.
Right.
That's what we have Janelle for.
Right.
But I'm wondering if we want somebody in possibly their 40s.
Okay.
Because she's what, 20, 25?
I looked her up.
Our girl Janelle, not Joelle.
I mean,
she's got to be, yeah.
She's 1985, so she's like 33.
No way.
Yeah.
Girl looks so good.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we could do somebody.
Again, remember she was 22. She was going to be
Murray?
a model in New York,
Yeah.
or 2019, whenever 9/11 happened in her time code, her timeline, and she was like on her way to doing something. Her whole family collapses. She has to move back home to help her mom because her dad commits suicide after this guy takes everything from him. This guy dies in 9/11. Nobody's ever brought to the justice, and her family's been ruined. So she gets into like criminal pathology to take down.
So is this taking place in New York City?
No.
Are we the NYPD?
No, we're not. I think that this happens in like maybe like a part of like upstate New York.
Yeah.
Or
even like
Connecticut, Vermont, New England kind of area.
Yeah.
Or Jersey.
Or Albany.
Yeah. Because I want it to be, or like a Buffalo. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a Ponzi scheme can happen anywhere.
Is it cold?
Yes.
It's freezing. It's snowing.
Here's what
cold.
Correct. And I want to get that feeling across, and you know this feeling. I think we've talked about this before.
It's a Fargo feeling.
It's that feeling of like a Wednesday in March on the East Coast where there's no snow on the ground. It's like 39 degrees. It's silent. You know that silence that you get? Like, when you would come home from school?
This is eerie.
Right? It's that silence because there's no animals alive, there's no birds singing, there's no bugs chirping, there's no noise in the wintertime. And it hasn't woken up for spring yet, but there's no snow on the ground to make it cool, and it's always overcast. There's no sun out ever. It's always just like there is cloud cover, and it's sort of like the sun's trying to peek through, but it's not. It's like that overcast day. It's a Wednesday in March in Pittsburgh. Do you know what I mean? Like the bus drops you off. My mom and dad aren't home from work yet. I have 2 hours to like sit in the silence. The house feels creepy. I have homework. School's not over, not even close to being over yet. It's just that like March, that feeling of March in the East Coast or in a cold weather climate. Because March out here, it's the same as June or July, right? It's just warm, and it is what it is.
It's been a little chilly recently.
It's been a little chilly, but it's February.
Been raining.
It's not February. It's January.
Yeah.
Okay? But that like weird, crisp feeling of
why people start using drugs.
Yes.
That's why.
Because they're depressed.
The
it's
weird
a depressing
silence,
feeling.
the cold.
Yes.
What do they call it? Sad is... What do they call it? Sad's the seasonal...
Seasonal sadness?
No,
seasonal depression.
Seasonal acute depression or seasonal
Is that what
something.
they call it?
SAD is like the abbreviation for a seasonal something depression. Something. Yeah.
Brutal.
All right, I'm with you on that. I'm still trying to cast him, though.
Okay.
Based off all of that. I do like Bill Murray.
You like Bill Murray?
I do. Read me some of the other names.
What about the John Hamm role? Like, what about putting John Hamm in that role?
That could be John Hamm.
Right?
Yep.
Because he's like... you need the...
And that's what builds up. This is what he does before he's cast as Batman in Matt Reeves' The Batman.
Yes, 100%.
He needs this.
Yeah. So, and you need...
This is his final turn.
You need the guy in True Detective that women love, but he's like this tortured soul, and he has a trail of women that he's left in his dust as far as, these aren't.
So was he working... So he would have been a younger cop during 9/11.
Yeah.
Was he part of the NYPD at that point, and then he moved upstate?
And then he moved upstate.
Because he can't with all of the people that he has lost and the whole thing.
Yeah.
Wow, this is a real story, I feel like.
Okay, so...
I'm scared.
Okay, so here's what we've got so far. Joelle Monet as the FBI special agent, whatever, and then you've got John Hamm as, like, maybe he's FBI, he was local NYPD, and then he got an FBI so that he get into, because he wanted to figure out 9/11. He wanted to be part of that.
Who's interviewing them? And why?
I think the Department of Justice. Like the SECs, these people that...
Because they found him on footage?
Yeah.
Or what sparked this all? Yeah, like a security camera?
Yeah, they found like one of those new facial recognition softwares popped up and saw his face, and he's been on they thought he was deceased, but because he was whatever, nobody actually found a body, nobody found anything in the rubble or anything like that.
Where was he, Canada? That's where they go.
And they would go to like Canada or Mexico maybe, but maybe he was caught on a security camera in Europe or something. Or maybe he was caught locally in like Omaha, Nebraska. Yeah. You can get lost in the Midwest pretty easily. So maybe he's an FBI agent in the Southern District of Manhattan, which is where Billions takes place, and they prosecute a lot of the Securities and Exchange Commission fraud and that kind of stuff. And this guy was going to go to jail for a while because he was almost like a Bernie Madoff, but he had like darker things too. Like he covered up a murder or something like that. He wasn't a mobster.
No, but he was not innocent.
He was not a good guy.
What do we do by the end? He gets caught?
He gets caught.
By Janelle?
Yes.
Just as I said that, I do think you were saying Joelle.
Mm-hmm. I think I was too.
Unclear.
I'm an idiot.
No, you're not. So Janelle catches him. Does she shoot and kill him?
I think she has...
Or she brings it to justice.
I think
There's that moment.
Yeah, I think she has the opportunity to like shoot him
But she's better than him.
But she's better. And she's like, you're under arrest. You don't get to just die. Because my dad died. You don't get to just die. You get to think about this in a really bad place.
What if this whole time she's been hinting to John Hamm about the fact that there's something up with him, and then she has him with her gun point blank? Point blank?
Point blank.
Point blank.
Yeah.
That's point blank.
Yeah.
Point blank.
Gross point blank.
Mm-hmm. And she has him, and he knows exactly who she is, and he reveals the end of their story, which is that he was the one who he admits to setting up her dad or taking the money, whatever. And John Hamm is next to Janelle, and Janelle decides to be the bigger person, put the gun down, and then when the thief tells the story, John Hamm shoots him.
Does he need to be shot? Can he be shot in like the leg or something? Do you think he would like shoot and wound?
I don't know.
Does the guy have a gun? I guess he would have a gun.
Who is the guy? We don't know.
Who's our villain? That's actually a really good idea, because maybe this is one of those True Detectives where we know who the villain is, we know what he sees like, and maybe it's like the interviews of where he could and couldn't be. Do you know what I mean? And the interview is like the Department of Justice.
What about, what's his name? Giovanni Ribisi?
Ribisi. Is that our guy? Like from
know.
Boiler Room?
He can do creepy stuff.
He can. What about like...
Willem Dafoe?
Willem Dafoe's good. He's creepy. I like that.
He's really creepy.
What about...
What if we pick a real life villain right now, like somebody people aren't liking?
You mean like a Bernie Madoff kind of a situation, but like a violent Bernie Madoff? Yeah. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I like.
It might take it a little too far.
Yeah, I think that's. I don't. We can't like put it on true events. We can just put it on something that's so believable that you could imagine this could happen, right?
Okay.
So he's like a financial guy, but he was a bad dude. He covered up murders, and he was part of. He wasn't a mobster. Again, he was able to do this, and he ruined a lot of people's life. And the fact that he was able to use 9/11, a national tragedy, to get away with all this and then disappear into the thing has really pissed off Janelle Monáe for a long time.
Yeah.
And so John Hamm, obviously,
and pissed her off personally and nationally.
Yes, exactly. And so
wow, this mother effer.
I know.
I'm pissed.
He's a bad dude. Do we want to go the classic villain, or we want to go some guy that could be like considered nice, but he's a villain? Like, what if it's Steve Martin? Or like a Martin Short? Right?
Or we go classic. What if it's Pauly Shore?
No, definitely not Pauly Shore.
What if it's somebody that the public doesn't hold in the highest eye at this moment? What if it was like a Kevin Hart?
No, he's too nice.
Okay.
Yeah. What about somebody like an Ellen DeGeneres? Could it be a woman villain? Because I could see
Portia de Rossi actually plays that kind of well.
She does play that kind of well. I feel like we've gotten really hung up on our cast as we've built this awesome story.
Yeah.
What about like an Allison Janney?
Oh, she could kind of be amazing.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, she would be really good. Or because I just saw it.
Like J.K. Simmons?
He would be great too. What about, I just saw Glass and his name
Sarah Paulson.
And
McAvoy?
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy. I think he's a little too young. I think we want an older guy or an older gal in this role.
Somebody who knew what they were doing.
Yeah. Who had been doing it for a while.
So good.
Why don't we do Allison Janney?
Do you think her over Willem Dafoe?
I would be more interested in an Allison Janney villain than I would a Willem Dafoe villain.
Because we've seen Willem Dafoe villains
Correct.
So many times.
And I feel like it's always the man that goes on the run and hides so well, and it's never the woman.
Maybe we should leave it to you guys. The villain cast, maybe we do a...
I mean, we don't need to cast the villain. We need to cast our main people.
We did.
Yeah. Okay.
So we leave it to you guys. You guys cast our villain.
Hashtag it.
You know what he/she has done.
Yes.
You know.
And you could see it in their eyes when they did it.
So cast that person.
Cast it. Hashtag it Collider Hypotheticals and tag Roxy and I at Josh McCouga at Roxy Stryer.
Yeah. And then we'll announce whoever we get the most of. Maybe we'll do a poll and announce next week who our villain was.
Yes.
That's cool.
I like that.
And if you're on iTunes, leave a comment there. And if you're on YouTube, feel free to leave the comment there. We'll read what it says.
Yes. Okay, so we've got Janelle Monáe.
Oh, and aren't we on Spotify as of now?
We're all on Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up?
I don't think you can leave a comment there, but I'm just
saying
listen
to us on Spotify. Yeah. Okay, so...
What did I start with? Woo, woo.
No, you're like, woo, 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 woo. But I think it was kind of like somebody imitating a siren, but imitating it wrong. Like a siren's like, woo, woo. And you were like, woo, 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 woo.
And she's ripped it. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. How's that cigar?
The right stuff. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, you were almost there. The right stuff. Yeah, the right stuff. Okay, let's hit our here's our thing. Okay. So, I think we've created the outline for an awesome story.
In a world.
True Detective, Season 4, brought to you by Josh McCouga, Roxy Stryer, the team at Hypothetical Questions over here at hashtag at Collider Hypotheticals.
What are you drawing?
I'm drawing
just a box.
The box of where I'm putting everything in.
Rocks on Josh's box?
Correct.
And that's what the box is for.
There we go. Okay. HBO coming in spring of 2020.
We could do spring, but it's going to be...
We should probably do winter.
Because I like the cold. It's cold there. People watching are cold. It's eerie. You hear a little pin drop. You hear it in your house.
So like middle of February 2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a great Valentine's Day pick.
Yep.
Start watching with your loved one.
All about love.
Yep.
Now, John Hamm obviously has to have a love interest.
Yeah, and can we have him not be a POS to her?
Yes.
Like, can he just actually Just not be the guy who.
I had originally pitched the guy that has like a string of females, but he's been in love with one woman forever. Okay.
I like that.
Maybe Joelle Monet has a string of dudes whose hearts she's broken because she's like the most beautiful. Did I say Joelle again?
I think. I don't know.
God, Janelle Monet has a string of guys whose hearts broken. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Well, or she has a string of ladies whose heart she's broken, or maybe both. She's broken all the hearts.
All the hearts. Yeah. I'm going to draw a broken heart.
That's pretty good.
Thanks.
Well, it got worse.
Yeah, that's bad. No. Okay, who is John Hamm's wife? I don't think we did it.
Yeah, you guys can.
We are up against time.
Anyway.
Yeah, we are. Okay, so Joelle.
Somebody sweet, but doesn't take his crap.
Yeah, but also has like, almost like the only role that I've ever loved her in is Gwyneth Paltrow in Seven as Brad Pitt's wife, because she's got a little bit of sass to her.
Role?
I've never really been a huge Gwyneth fan, but
interesting.
I mean, I like her as Pepper Potts, I guess.
I'm thinking about the girl, the person that Dexter loved that died. Did you watch Dexter?
No, I wasn't a big fan.
Okay, well, she was brutally murdered. Now she's the same one in The Handmaid's Tale that is the guy's wife.
Yvonne Strahovski?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the girl in Dexter. They look alike.
Okay. I like Yvonne Strahovski. She's good. She's in Chuck.
Somebody blonde with short hair.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know why I'm picturing it.
Why, you thinking January Jones in Mad Men?
Kind of.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm just...
What about like a Julianne Moore? She a little too old for John Hamm? Or are they like, I think they're the same age, right? Or is
that would work. But
I feel like she's so much more of a leading lady than just the wife.
Or we could go like a Laura Linney kind of.
I don't mind Laura Linney. I mean, but she is Ozark.
I know,
she's
but that's
totally
why I was
Ozark.
thinking about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we don't have to get into that. But
that's not our job.
You know what we're getting at on this one.
We're not the casting directors.
Right. Janelle Monáe is the heartbreaker. John Hamm is the heart keeper. Right. What happens is Janelle Monáe is the FBI like criminal forensics specialist. She's like the tracker, right? Not tracker because we have that in this season.
She has to fight her way on this case too.
Yes,
and that's why she doesn't tell everybody what happened with her dad, because she knows that it'd be a conflict of interest.
Correct. Yeah.
But it comes out slowly. It starts coming out to John Hamm.
Yeah.
John Hamm at one point almost outs her.
But he wants to catch this guy too.
And she's their best chance.
And
I would tell.
But I won't.
But
yeah,
what's his name that he would tell? I would tell
Captain.
I would tell Captain John, but now I won't because you're my best hope.
Yeah, and Michael Keaton plays the captain, obviously.
Yeah.
So they track this guy. Something pops up in the Midwest, and because they're federal agents, they're allowed to go wherever but then they got to deal with some other federal agents on the other side. But they go to another equally as cold place, like a Topeka, Kansas, someplace out there that is like Wisconsin. Ooh, good call. Quiet. You hear like a mooing in the background.
Everybody's in a cheese head, and you're like, "What
is happening?"
All doing in this? Get that cheese off your head.
Depressed that the Packers didn't make it to the playoffs. That kind of a situation.
Yeah.
They find themselves in the middle of nowhere, Wisconsin, where there's a great local dive bar. Kind of a situation. There's always a great local dive bar. They get to know the locals, and they know their agents already.
Isn't that where we go in Love Actually?
Wisconsin.
With the local.
I'm going to a lovely place called Wisconsin. Colin, no.
That was really good. I was not expecting that.
Try.
Colin, no.
Colin, no.
No.
So they're in this hometown.
Jack is flipping out somewhere right now.
And maybe we don't sound like that.
You sound like you're from London.
Come on. But the town doesn't want to give her up because maybe they were talking about somebody that's she is actually a good person in town. She's never ruffled any feathers.
The hypothetical Allison Janney person, you
Correct.
mean?
Yeah. Right. And so.
And maybe, has she changed? Did that event change her?
I think so. Or maybe she's just as scary. Or not. I don't know. I can't. See? This is the kind of situation.
I mean, is whatever she did to Janelle Monáe's dad, was it forgivable? But it's the fact that he then killed himself that she's not forgive. Like, did that sit just as poorly with Allison Janney as it did with Janelle Monáe? And Allison Janney has not been able to forgive herself either and dedicated her life. And when they finally find her, she's like running an orphanage.
Yeah, maybe. She's maybe had a couple foster kids.
But you still have to pay for your crimes.
Your crimes.
Or when they find her, is she still playing the same tricks and we just get to hate her?
I think you have to hate this person. Because the True Detective thing is like you have to hate this person.
Yeah, good. Because otherwise I don't want to like her.
Yeah, no. I don't want there to be any redemption factor.
No,
here.
F you.
So they find her, but this town is a little scared of her still. They're protected because they all have, she's kind of all muscled them.
Off too, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So they get to this small Wisconsin town.
Or she or he. We still
haven't decided. We're letting the fans decide. So they get to this small Wisconsin town. Again, quiet, creepy. There's no leaves on trees. You have to go way out in those sticks to some of these dairy farms that are creepy in themselves. You know what I mean?
I'm picturing meat hanging from ceilings.
Meats. Lots of meats. Dried meats, cured meats, cold meats.
All the meat.
All the meats.
And cheese. Big vats.
And one of the funnier things is that Janelle Monáe is like a vegan or something, and she's very healthy. And everywhere they go, they're like, "Do you have a salad or something?" And do the line that my one waitress told my sister-in-law in Pittsburgh: "We got jalapeno poppers." So they don't have any kind of vegetables.
Enough.
Yeah, we ain't got any jalapeno poppers. Yeah.
And she tries to order with avocado.
Yeah, they don't know what avocado. Hey, we got avocado in here. No avocado. So that's Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but I get it.
Yeah.
It still paints the picture.
And so then the interview part is with the Department of Justice when they brought this woman to justice, and maybe the illegal means they went about trying to get her. Kind of a situation is like, what did they do in order to get her, and what did they see? Like, did they see a town in fear? Did they? I mean, because that could be really cool that this woman has a town kind of in fear, and nobody wants to get anything to her.
She owns a restaurant, maybe. All the fear of people you're supposed to be in fear of own a restaurant as a front.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I think maybe a restaurant's too visible.
No, she's not participating in it. She,
maybe
she's laundering money.
Maybe she went and, it was almost like Fargo season 2 where she went and she found a bunch of dairy farmers that she could put into some sort of like a syndicate. And now she runs this dairy syndicate, sort of like the maple syrup syndicate outside Montreal.
I thought you were going to say in Riverdale.
Oh, yeah, no. And the actual Montreal maple syrup syndicate, which is very interesting. Mm-hmm. So she's running this dairy syndicate, and she's controlling prices, and people are kind of scared of her.
Yeah.
And they figure this out, and now they're not only...
Does she have a pet? A creepy cat?
No, creepy cats. Snake? I feel like a cat is always on a farm because they kill like the vermin and the mice and everything.
Does she have a pet mice?
I think she's got 2 like bigger dogs.
2 big dogs.
Like mastiffs. Like sheep herding mastiffs. All right?
Yep.
Yep.
And very important.
This villain is turning into something awesome. And so they are trying to infiltrate this Wisconsin town while also getting pushback from the Milwaukee FBI bureau and all this kind of stuff.
Because get out of our town.
Yes.
What are you doing here? You have no jurisdiction.
Nothing.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. And the local sheriff is just a real jerk because he maybe is in love with our Allison Janney type character.
Or is just getting paid a lot.
He's getting paid a ton of money. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dairy Syndicate.
And he's Jason Segel. Can you imagine how surprised fans would be?
We loved the show until the sheriff was Jason Segel. It was like we kind of bought into True Detective season 2 until the crime lord was Vince Vaughn. I didn't see that coming. Do you feel good about this? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good.
Okay.
And I'm feeling good.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay. So we got our cast, we've got our story, we've got our villain, we've got our town, we've got our thing. I think we've got a show. All we have to do is kind of fill in all the exact details. We should pull
this episode down.
And write True Detective season 4.
Yeah, we should pitch this.
Go picture. Go picture. No, I misspelled picture. Whatever. You get what I'm saying. Go picture.
What? What's go picture?
Like, you got go picture, kid. Go ahead, make your movie. You got go picture. Go picture. That's Hypothetical Questions with Josh and Roxy. It's your weekly podcast about television hypotheticals. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm Josh McCouga at Josh McCouga. You guys can see Collider TV Talk here on the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the podcast feed. You can also see a podcast I do with Ken Knapsack called The Afternoons. The Josh McCouga Show on YouTube, as well as Collider Live with this young lady.
That's me. I'm Roxy Stryer. You guys can find me everywhere at Roxy Stryer. Don't forget to leave in the comments who you think the villain or any of the other casts that we blew should be. Ooh, phrasing.
Ooh, phrasing. Or the other cast that you may not agree with what we have. Janelle Monáe and John Hamm star in True Detective Season 4, February 2020.
Janelle and John. John and Janelle.
Only on
HBO.
Correct.
I couldn't tell if you wanted me to say Collider or HBO.
No. HBO. As always, put down the book, pick up the remote. We'll see you next week.